Yo, what is going on, you beautiful people? It is Trelli here, and today, because you guys absolutely smashed the like goal on the last top 7 mages in Joust video, I will be bringing to you a highly requested top 7 guardians in Joust list here. Now, with the builds included, now, two things to note. Number one, because you guys crushed that like goal so easily, I have decided to make another incentive. If you guys really do want the next installation of this series, which I feel should be the top 7 hunters in Joust. If you guys really want to see that, definitely let me know. 1,500, 1.5k likes, and I will have it done in a week. If not, if we don't hit that, which I don't expect us to, because it takes a while, but if we do hit that, I will have it up in a week. If not, I will have it up in, my own time, probably within the month or so. But, okay, a few things to explain. Number one, how are we judging this? So, the criteria is going to be peel, their damage, their ability to set up, and their ability to be countered. So, how much damage they can do, can they keep their carries safe, can they set up for their carries, and are they countered easily? Now, with that being said, all of these guardians, pretty much every guardian in the game has some amount of viability in this game mode. Guardians are, without a doubt, the most versatile in this category, meaning that they are, insane. They kind of control the meta. They control picks and bans. Besides mages, I think they both are, half and half, who controls the meta and whatnot. So, a lot of them are viable, is the whole point I'm trying to make here. There's going to be a lot of guardians that aren't on this list, and they are perfectly great. I will have a lot of honorable mentions, but I'm just going to go over them quickly because, honestly, there's no reason to drag this video on. So, without further ado, let us get in to the top 7 guardians in Joust.
Cabrakan.
Okay, number 7 is Cabrakan. Now, Cabrakan used to be a top pick in this game mode, but there has just been a lot of new guardians added, a lot of new, buffs, nerfs, etc. He was recently buffed, and Cabrakan has crazy peel. He has crazy peel, he has crazy setup, and crazy damage. The only issue is he can die very easily when his 1 is down. That's the only downside of Cabrakan. Besides that, the double stun, you guys know how much damage his 1 does. His 3 is recently buffed, and it groups the minions way easier. There's no reason not to have a Cabrakan unless you don't know how to play him, because if you don't know how to play him and you use your 1, if you just spam your 1, that's definitely not the way you want to go about this character. He dies very easily when that's down. He does have the slow immunity built into it, but once you use that auto attack, you're kind of dead there. Build will be on screen. Obviously, this is just core items. All of these items can work on pretty much any guardian in the game, with the exception of some healer guardians that have a Lotus Crown or something built in. The builds are 100% counter builds. They are not going to be cookie cutter builds you can just copy and paste. These are all just going to be good items on this character, and items you can pretty much build on every god. I'm not going to repeat that for every god, just so you know, that goes without saying for all of them. So, number 7, Cabrakan.
Shinten.
Okay, number 6 is Shinten. Now, Shinten is all around just a perfect guardian. He has great setup with his 2, the knock up into the root, his ult, obviously, the freaking whirly-durly into the yeet. He does have decent damage. I wouldn't say great. He's got some good poke with his 1. He doesn't do crazy damage. He's not going to 100-0 anyone, but he definitely has the good, the poke from a range that's going to piss you off. Which a lot of people don't actually know this, but his 1 actually nerfs auto attackers. So if you are like a if you're like a Hou-Yi or something and you're auto attacking and you get hit by the Shinten 1, it actually nerfs your damage at 50% auto attack, nerf at max rank, 20% at the smallest rank. So if you keep spamming your 1 on auto attackers, like Freya's and Souls and Chronos, stuff like that, it really starts to show because they don't do anything. Downsides to Shinten, honestly none. He's a pretty all-around great character. He has no counter matchups, I would say. He does have great mobility as well with the double jump over walls. Just an all-around great guardian that you could first pick, and he solo tanks really well. There's a lot of double tank meta, a lot of characters that shine in this double tank meta. Shinten is also one of those, but he can also function pretty well as his own tank, just with 2 carries. So Shinten, number 6.
Kuzma.
Okay, number 5 is my boy Kuzma. Now, I love Kuzma. I love having him on my team. I certainly don't love facing him. He is definitely one of the most annoying guardians to face because of the fact that he has the shell spikes that constantly reset. He's a nightmare for characters like AMC or Agni to deal with the tick damage that constantly resets his Nene and his dash. He has very little to no setup. Very little to no setup. It's very hard to get what's the word? It's very hard to get like in sync with your Guardian player to try to hit like Thoth snipes off of the Kuzma dash, because more often than not you're gonna, wiggle them around a bit, try to get them into minions, and you'll miss off it. So he doesn't have great setup. His ult's decent, but he has great damage. He has great peel. It's almost impossible to fight into his ultimate, and he has very little success against healers. That's something you want to watch out for. It's hard to reflect damage into healers, but besides that, he hard counters the gods that have to all in. They have abilities that they leave on the ground, such as Nox, Agni, Hou-Yi. I'm not going to say that he hard counters them, even though I did say that. My point is that he can, pop 2 and Thorns on like the Agni dash, the Hou-Yi ult, and that is just a nightmare for characters like that to deal with. Definitely not a great single tank. Kuzma works much better with attached to like another warrior or possibly a guardian. 2 guardians and a hunter, you know what I'm saying? He's not a great single tank. Kuzma by himself isn't the best setup, like I said, so definitely try to pair him with someone else with setups such as like a Colin, or like a Guan Yu, something like that, or like an Ama. But besides that, great all-around character. Just make sure that you have a second tank with him, or you are really in sync with your Guardian player. Number 5, Kuzma. Okay, number 4 is Cthulhu. Now, before you guys say anything, let me just say that he is very new to SMITE. He is very new to this ranked game mode. He could be higher. He definitely could be higher. I'm very confident that he is on this list. The placement is a bit iffy, but he has insane damage and space control. His ult hits the whole map. You can't be safe under your Phoenix or your tower. He can still hit with his big swipe of his ult, the 2 and the 1, even the 3 if you want to use that for damage, which I sometimes do. With Thorns, it's pretty much like just fuck off. Do not get near him. There's lots of hidden mechanics with his fear that people don't expect. He has, if he gets I don't know what it's called, the Insanity, I believe it's called. If he gets that on you and then you pop your 1, it's like a Hades fear. And then you can catch dashes with that and stuff like that. He is just an all-around beast on this map. Obviously, he's disgusting in Conquest as well, but you get what I'm saying. He does have a good amount of setup. He has a lot of CC that people don't expect. Like I said, his dash is a stun. His 1 can fear. The 2 is a root. When you ult, you have the knockup and the slows. I mean, it's just, this god is crazy. Like I said, he could be higher and he could be a bit lower. I'm not really sure, but he's definitely here. You have definitely banned this god, and if you have definitely faced him, if you have faced him, you probably don't want to face him again. Cthulhu is an absolute beast. The hybrid build with a bit of damage is what you're going to be going for. I got nothing else to say about this guy. Cthulhu is an absolute menace. Number 4, Cthulhu.
Yamoja.
Okay, number 3 is Yamoja. Now, this god is no stranger to the Joust scene. She has been played at a high level. I'm sure she's been played at a low level. If you guys, if some of you lower level players have been running into Yamoja, you already know how annoying she is. Even if she's not even played well, she's annoying because of the heal spam and the slow spam and the stun spam. However, if played right, her ult really shits on these immobile characters like your Achilles and your Agnis and Chang'as, stuff like that. It is super difficult to deal with the waves if you get trapped in them. Her 3 is really good for displacing people and popping stuff like Magi's. And also, if you throw a Lotus Crown on her, you give disgusting protections to your whole team. It's like stack that with a Sovereignty and a Gauntlet of Thebes, and your whole team is like unkillable at the beginning of the game. It's actually gross. So Yamoja really needs no explanation. If you guys really need me to talk about it, ask me in the comments. But for real, just you spam abilities, you get full, you get 300 mana, and then you get her like Omi upgrade where she regenerates very quickly, and you can throw her pretty much on any comp. The only downside is the cursed onk counter, but you can play around that because her heal isn't that necessary in a battle. So, number 3, Yamoja. Alright, now I said I would briefly talk about honorable mentions. So before we get to the number 2 spot, I'm just going to list off a few Guardians that definitely are solid. We don't have to go too into detail about this. Ganesha, Ardeo, Ares, Athena, Cerberus, Kumba, Fafnir. These are all great characters, all of them. Most of the Guardians in this game can be played in this mode successfully. I cannot make a list about all of them, and I'm not going to. All of these characters are great. They just lack one or more of the categories that I've been talking about, how I'm judging this. For example, Athena has great setup, but not that great of damage with her 3. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard to confirm that. Cerberus has great everything, but his damage is pretty hard to confirm because most of the top Guardians in the game interrupt his dog breath. I don't know what it's called. The ghastly breath, I believe. I'm not going to go into detail. Fafnir is great with double ADC. Okay, I'm done. I said I wouldn't do it, and I'm not going to do it. You get what I'm saying, though. They're all great. They just lack a little bit. They all could definitely be played at a high level, though. Do not get me wrong. Anyways, that's besides the point. We're going to number 2. Number 2. It pains me to do this. Is Baccus. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why is Baccus not number 1? Now, let me tell you something. Baccus is without a doubt my most played Guardian. He's my favorite damage dealer. I love building him hybrid and just deleting people. Baccus is the king of Joust and highly debated best Guardian in this game mode. He has the best damage by far. He has great setup. He has anti-heal built into the kit. He has power and built-in mitigations in his passive. He's an all-around great first pick, with very few counters if played correctly. And by counters, I mean, not spamming your flop when the people are camping under tower with an Ares or a Baron ult, something like that. The only thing that hurts him is interrupting his burst, which a lot of characters can do, and his lack of CC immunity. After he flops, it's pretty easy to CC him and lock him down. But like I said, if played correctly, this god is like a one-man wrecking force in this game. You don't have to have it explained to you. I know I've said that a lot, but that's kind of it's very obvious. These lists are very obvious once you see what I have everything listed as. You really get to understand, like, yeah, these gods don't really have much counters, and I don't want to deal with them. That's why they're banned so much. I love Baccus. He has a special place in my heart, and I can only think of one Guardian that strikes fear into me like Baccus does.
Sobek.
And that Guardian is Sobek. I can tell you right now that out of all of the high-level GM versus GM matches that I have lost, I want to say 50% of them have had a Sobek on their team. Sobek, if Baccus is the king of Joust, Sobek is the king of displacement. Sobek will throw you from hiding safely in your tower and just fling you into death. You ever got plucked into an Ularax with a Vulcan meatball waiting for it, and then you're dead. You're dead. Sobek has the best setup ability in the game mode. It's a little bit better than the knockup from Baccus, because not only is it crazy setup, but it's also displacing the shit out of you, and it's throwing you towards them. You don't want to be there. With full cooldown, you can pluck the same person twice if they're a tank. The pluck is CC immune, which it always has been, but they just recently gave it the actual effect so that the players that don't know about secret mechanics know that he's CC immune. He has crazy poke, the most annoying poke in the world. His sickening strike, his 3, which also applies anti-heal. He can zone you off the wave, because if you don't have beads, you can't even walk up to the wave. His ult has CC immunity and does more damage than Baccus ult, which, to be fair, he almost never gets off the fully charged Sobek ult. You get what I'm saying, though? The slow and the movement speed, and that he is just, without a doubt, the spookiest god in this game mode, in my opinion, for, like, mage players. He just looks at you menacingly, and if you step up in the wrong way at all, you're getting plucked, and you better beads the pluck. And even me, like a skilled player who's been around this game mode for so long, I still sometimes fuck up the beads. Like the pre-beads on the pluck so you don't get flinged, I'll beads in midair, and it wastes my bead. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's disgusting. This god is a menace, and I never want to face him. I only want him on my team. That's why we ban him if we're not going to first pick him. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, 1.5k likes, and we will have the top 7 hunters in Joust up within the week. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. It's been Trelli, guys. Peace.